Europe. No, Spill Party 2, European Boogaloo or something. I don't know.
European Vacation?
Yeah, exactly. So
I'm sorry. I just started thinking of the, was it Warren Zevon song? Werewolf in London, Black Man in London.
Black Man in London.
Exactly.
I saw Corey Colbert eating dinner with Lon Chaney. But so no, so they started this group, and now they want to know, should we do it in January or should we do it December 13th? You guys join the group if you want to. I just sent emails off to Renegade, Nick, Army, and we'll figure it all out, and I'll be there. I think it'll be fun. Like I said, I'll be there anyway.
Yeah. And you did mention Amsterdam?
And I might go to Amsterdam. I'd rather.
How long are you going to be over there?
I'm probably going to be there for like about 5 days. It's going to be an extended weekend. I'm going to probably leave on a Thursday, get in on a Friday, visit my cousin, and come back on Tuesday. So,
gotcha.
So yeah, so I think it'll be fun. They already have the place picked out, someplace in Camden called Peachy Keen. So people over in London know what that is. I said, make sure they know. Yeah, no, like it's not a gay club. I had no problem partying with the gays, but but it's like
we're gonna party at the Peachy Keen.
At the Peachy Keen.
Let's do our bad
mate.
accent.
Yeah, no, really bad accent.
Just keep your eyes open at all times, Corey. They have a vicious gang. It's the hooligans.
Watch out for the hooligans.
The hooligans.
The hooligans are coming. The hooligans are coming.
You got to watch out for them. They're dangerous, mate.
We're the hooligans.
See a bunch of people. I'm going to step off the plane dressed up like Malcolm McDowell and Clockwork Orange. Walking in some white tights, beating up an old man. But, so yeah, that's the deal. So just let me know when you want me to show up and I'll be there. Like I said, I'm going to see my relatives, so it doesn't matter to me. But I really am looking forward to hanging out with people
There
in
are
London.
black people in London?
I will
There's
be.
going to be one.
Yeah, I'll be.
Like I said.
It's going to be parties there.
Hey,
It's going to be a big party at the airport, big celebration. First man in London.
Come on, man. Yeah,
20 years.
You know there's black people. Isn't Don Cheadle British?
I know. No,
Don
he's
Cheadle,
not.
He's not British. He had a British accent in, what do you call it? Ocean's 11.
11,
that's all
12,
special
13,
effects.
18,
That's all smoke and mirrors,
27, 46.
Hey, I thought he was British.
Do y'all remember, I guess was it Back to the Future Part 2? It's Part 2 where he goes to the future. And he's standing in the theater, and this 3D shark comes out.
Yeah, the 3D
and it's
Jaws?
an ad for like Jaws 17.
Right.
There's going to be the next one they can do is Ocean's 28.
Yeah, there you go. I can be in it.
Yeah, there you go.
No, you can't.
Samuel Jackson, he's British, isn't he?
No.
I mean, I can never tell because he's yelling. Hey, oi, mate!
Oi, hello.
Hello.
No, he'll...
Top of the morning to you,
Motherfucker.
governor.
I can listen to this all day.
I know. Okay. All right. So you got that going on there.
Yes.
We'll talk about it more. Any questions you got, we'll talk about it more. Now, here's a good email from Doug. Simple name, Doug.
Dougie Fresh.
Damn, these dogs are waiting to get in this house, man. You sure they're not racist, your dogs?
I peed on one of their heads because they were they're licking me all over.
His dogs are like zombies from Dawn of the Dead. Just beating on the window.
Run around in circles because they don't know what to do. They've been outside longer than they have in a long time.
Really? Where are we? Please let us in.
What is this fresh air shit?
That black man kicked us out of our home. What
is
the
this stuff?
hell?
Grass?
Him and his stupid robot.
Do your dogs ever do that thing when they wipe their ass on the carpet?
Fortunately not. That one of them did it one time, and I put the end of that
And
shit
you beat
real
the
quick. Butt scooting.
He had his ass sewed up.
You pulled out your Glock and you pointed to his head. You ever do that again?
If it was a movie, you see the dog scooting on the carpet, and then you see Sean come up with a stick, cut to the outside of the house.
Yeah.
Don't you ever
You see the other dog go roll.
looking at horror, looking at the other dog in horror. I will never wipe my ass on the carpet.
I'll never make that mistake. Poor Charlie.
That dog got tears coming out of his eyes because dog wants to scratch his ass so bad, but he can't. Got tears coming out of his eyes. Oh, please.
Yeah. Are you all right, Charlie? Are you all right?
But okay. All right. So this is from Doug, and Doug says, I've noticed that many of the movie trilogies you've talked about end up screwing up the third movie really bad, when the first two have been really great. Are there any movies out there that have remained good throughout the trilogy? Or any third movie that has been better than the first two? Thanks, and that's from Doug.
I would say the answer to question 1 is yes.
Mm-hmm.
The Lethal Weapon series maintained its entertainment value throughout the entire series.
Lethal Weapon 3, I gotta disagree, man. I didn't like
Oh,
that.
Lethal Weapon! You didn't like Lethal Weapon 3
No.
with the introduction
I
of?
hardly remember.
It's the one where they introduced
Joe Pesci.
No, that was the
2.
second one. What's her name? I just went blank.
Oh, yeah, I know exactly.
You know, as a foil to Riggs.
Mm-hmm.
And Mel Gibson ended up marrying her.
Right, in 4. Oh, what
You
the
got
hell is her
4 over
name?
here, man? You got
I've
the DVD
I've got all 3
right
sitting
here.
right there.
Oh man, what's her name? Renee Russo.
Yeah,
Yes.
there you go. There's
Yeah.
an actress that came and went. I mean,
Yeah, but I mean, I enjoyed all 4 of those. I think all 4 of them were great.
4
Jet Li.
with Jet Li.
You
that
like
one
4?
was the worst. That one was
Man,
by far
yeah,
the
I gotta-
worst
It was
piece
the
of
worst
shit.
of the series, but it was still a good movie.
Are you?
Oh,
no,
man, you
you
crazy.
cannot say that, please.
How can you not sit down and watch the fighting in that and just not let go and
that
enjoy
fighting was like that fighting was almost like inserted. That was like another film.
That's
And
Jet
it had
Li's
nothing-
worst fighting.
And it was his worst fighting. Yeah, I'll give you that. Jesus, I wanted to kill myself after watching that film.
See, I enjoyed it.
I couldn't believe
the
what they
only thing
did.
I could have done without, and that is the whole everybody being pregnant shit.
I could have done without the whole movie.
I mean, the moment that they leapt over into that other parking lot and everything, I was just like, man.
Oh,
this-
dude, I love that the whole line, the gunfight in the bonded warehouse. You know Ebony Clark? Yeah, I know her. She writes those sleazy sex novels. You boinking her? No, I'm not boinking her. My wife is her. There you are,
He's got the
boinking her.
movie memorized. Look, he
Yeah.
loves
Oh
this
my
movie.
God,
Look at
that
him.
is scary.
He's so fucking happy. Look at him.
No, wasn't there a ridiculous scene where
kidding.
somebody was like surfing on a car door behind a semi? I mean, wasn't there like
It was a
crazy-
table. It was a
It was a table.
It was a table
Oh
that
my
had gotten
God.
flipped upside
See,
down, and there was
oh.
plastic hanging off the back of the
That
truck.
movie just went
Oh,
insane.
Jesus.
Yeah, you got 2 people here calling you crazy. I got a computer calling you crazy.
Yes.
Now he knows. All right, he's a computer.
He has no
Yes.
taste.
I got plenty.
He
of
still
taste.
hangs out with you, Corey.
I got
Oh,
all
man,
kinds
well,
of taste.
I'm not.
Hey,
I'm thinking
look.
about not hanging out with you anymore at this Lethal Weapon 4logy you have over here.
All right. Let me ask you this:
All right.
Indiana Jones maintained through all 3.
You know what? Actually, I will say the third one. Well,
No,
I
the third
can't-
was not better than the
It's
first.
not better than the
You
first,
can't
no.
be better than the
It's
first.
better
It
than
was
the
a
second one.
great film, though. The
Yeah.
Last Crusade,
It's great.
Sean Connery.
No,
I
Last
like-
Crusade
I
is a
love
good
it.
one. Now that's a series that has maintained.
Yeah.
That is one. Okay, we got. We have. We all agree on Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Now we all mentioned the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Lord of the Rings.
By all means,
Brilliant
that one is
all the
yeah,
way through.
Yeah, that is one story being told. It was
He
great.
taught how to film a trilogy.
Yeah.
You do it all at once, and you edit, and you finish things individually, but you get the bulk of it at once.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way to maintain
A
continuity.
masterpiece.
Yeah.
that is.
I
Yeah,
will
that
say
goes
that.
without saying.
Yes.
And you wanted to bring up one that we can
Yeah,
argue this.
we kind of But the thing is, I just brought it up because I thought it would be somewhat of a decent answer as far as the Sergio Leone Western trilogy with Clint Eastwood, which was
like the good, the bad, and the ugly,
and the ugly,
and
which is
ugly. I actually said ugly. The good, the bad, and ugly. It's
yeah.
a great movie. I love that movie.
yeah. And as far as like out of those 3 films, that one is
Was
it
which
seems a
one?
lot more popular in the series, even though it's not one of my favorite. The second film is actually my favorite. For a few dollars
For
more.
a few dollars more?
Yeah. Huh? And the first one was a
Fistful of Dollars.
Fistful
Yeah.
of dollars,
Yeah,
$few dollars more. Yeah.
So the second one was my favorite though. So
I have to admit, as overplayed and as
It's the epitome of spaghetti western.
Yeah, it is as cliched as it has become. I really love the good, the bad, and ugly. I can watch that movie over and over again. I have the soundtrack.
Absolutely.
That soundtrack gets me through
no,
the
it's
days
It's
sometimes.
a kick-ass, and I love all those films, but just the second one for me, that's my favorite. And
Yeah.
I guess it's because the good and the bad and the ugly is praised so much, and you see it all the time on TV. Practically, if they're playing a western, good chances you'll stumble across it. But
Same composer did a really great soundtrack for Once Upon a Time in the West.
oh no, I love that soundtrack.
Yeah.
the harmonica.
Oh.
the
yeah.
yeah, that kicks ass. Yeah.
You know, there's another series that nobody ever talks about, and you know, I should let my wife sit in on this, but I won't. But no, she's a big fan of all the Superman movies. The Christopher Reeves.
yeah.
Hey, Superman 3 by no means.
Yes.
If your wife wants to come in and get mad, she can kick us out, but I got to fight on that.
I don't remember which one was
Richard
3.
Pryor. That's
the
Superman
third
3,
one.
yeah.
Okay.
Richard Pryor.
And then after that, you got Superman 4, where it's like he fights Nuclear Man.
And that was distributed through Canon Films.
Yeah, exactly.
Same people who brought you American Ninja.
And Jim Cotta.
Jim Cotta, baby. The conveniently placed rock that looks like a pommel horse.
And of course, quality Chuck Norris films.
Are you calling your wife in here or something?
No, I'm looking at my collection.
He's got Jim Cotta in first place, next to Lethal Weapon 4. No. Do you have Superman 4 over there? That's a terrible movie.
She's got the box set in all 4.
They actually put that in a box set?
It's VHS.
Oh, no, they have they have a DVD. I got it. The DVD box set with all of the Christopher Reeve films, including Superman Returns, which I had to get it. Only because it has the...
there she is. she got like a brush in her hand. She's about to knock me over the head. You love Superman 3? Oh my goodness! You two were made for each other.
But the thing is, though, is that when you're younger, the Superman 3. I mean, I guess because it had Richard Pryor, I remember that movie was a big deal. But you look at it now, and it's terrible. I mean, it's
Rambo.
Rambo
series.
The third, yeah. You know what?
The third, he fights in Afghanistan.
The third one I saw recently. It has a kick-ass
and
intro.
The fourth one was fucking spectacular.
It has a kick-ass intro, but the thing is...
the one that we saw.
Yeah.
It's not, but the third one isn't nearly as... it's nowhere near as action-packed as, obviously, the second one, even the first one.
I would say it's got more action in the third one. But it's...
No, the third one was
third one's in the Afghanistan.
Right.
You know, he's in it's constant fight. It's not as much as the fourth one.
Not as much, no.
But the first one was much more of a bloody drama.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
it was just a great film.
It was a brilliant film.
Yeah.
But it became the action film after that.
Right.
I will have to say that Beverly Hills Cop 3 is probably the best of the series. Out of all of those. Yeah.
What?
Are you serious?
Are you
being serious?
Yeah, you didn't think
Beverly
so?
Hills.
They made
Murphy?
it
out of the three.
They made it PG-13. All the
You're joking,
the people could enjoy it. I mean, of course I'm joking.
I was about to say, what the hell?
Don't you run in here? Your wife's coming even to come beat me up. Like, you like Superman 3. Don't look at me like that.
Don't give him any more shots.
I was sitting there saying, okay, it's the only thing on. I'll flip it on. But the best of the three?
Yeah. And you know what's sad is that Superman 3 is directed by the director who took over Superman 2, which a good portion of Superman 2 is directed by Richard Donner. And they fired him halfway through. And I guess the producer, Richard Lester, took over. And eventually, it's funny because when you watch the director's cut of the Richard Donner Superman 2, they take a good part of the comedy that was in Superman 2. And you can tell there's a big difference. I don't know. Have you seen Superman 2, Sean's wife? And have you seen the director's cut? Oh, you should do yourself a favor to see that. But anyway, yeah, Richard, you could tell like all the cheesy parts of Superman 2. Obviously, if he would have had that whole film, Superman 2, I don't think it would be nowhere near as memorable as it is now. Just because when you watch Superman 3, it's like every joke. The movie starts out as one big montage of jokes. I mean, it's ridiculous.
They even have a scene where like the traffic signs are fighting each other, like the lights and like
people. You see the red and the green guy.
It's a comedy.
You see them climb into the next. Yeah, I don't even know how to describe that scene, but they're
come sit down with us. We'll educate you. You will never see Superman 3 the same way again.
No.
We will ruin this for you. For
but I will say the best part of Superman 3 is when Superman turns evil when he becomes a drunk. That is
Superman. You're just in a slump.
Yeah. That is the best part. When he comes out, he steps out of the bar. When he steps out of the bar, he's like, "What you looking at? Huh? What you looking at?"
See, it would have been cool. Like he had set the kid on fire with his laser eyes.
That was kick ass. I love that.
Maintaining. You could make an argument that Austin Powers maintained because they were never great films. None of them were just great.
See, films. I didn't like the one either. I thought the third one was bad. You know what? I always mention this, but I can say the third movie was better than the first two to come before that. This isn't really a trilogy, but Prisoner of Azkaban was actually better than the first two. But it's technically it's not a trilogy.
I agree with that, yeah.
But I mean, you're coming off of essentially two kids' movies
right.
and just, boom, matured just like that. And
well,
everybody was amazed.
Like the books.
You are right.
You're talking to somebody whose whole family has read all the books.
Okay, so...
And it's... I always get into this argument with grown-ups that I think they read like a few chapters of the first book, and it's like, well, it seems kind of like a kid's book. And I said, it starts that way, but then it gets into some dark shit.
And it seems like I've never read any of the books because the movies have been coming out so fast, but it seems like they've kept kind of close as they can.
They've had to leave a lot out because the books are so long. They leave out more than I would prefer they leave out, and I think my wife probably agrees with that. But I don't know that there's any way to include them unless they want to turn every book into 2 movies.
Yeah. Yeah, and they're saying they're going to do that.
They've already agreed to do that for the last one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think that would be cool. I mean, I heard that last one is such a massive story, and they don't want to leave anything left to chance with that. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, technically not a trilogy, but if you want to just say the third movie.
The third movie sucked me into that whole Harry Potter.
Oh, really?
Movie. Yeah, I didn't. The first 2, I felt like I was watching kids' movies. I'm like, I just don't get it. These films aren't meant for me.
Third movie is that's when you first see the Dementors, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And that movie was actually kind of scary, man. So, all right, I'm gonna throw an easy one out there because we haven't asked you any of these Batman questions.
Okay.
Sean, camera phone call.
No, don't get involved in porn. Oh wait, we did that last time.
I know from experience. Some videos floating around of you and your husband there, Sean's wife.
What have I just stepped into?
I know. Yeah, she's like,
now.
"Oh hell, y'all need to go."
This is not the show I was waiting for.
Can I have some more spaghetti, please?
Yeah, a little arsenic to go
Yeah,
with
she
it.
spits in my food. Yeah, here you go. Still good. But, okay, so this one comes from Crazy Nika. 26.
Nika?
Crazy Nika.
No,
don't you even pull that shit on me, man. You heard me.
Yeah,
what are you trying to say there, Corey?
I was like, what?
Man, just keep your dogs at the house. All
That's
right?
one crazy Nika.
Nika, please.
Hey, my dogs are sitting right there by the.
I know,
they're sitting right up there. Let me in.
One false move,
Taste
motherfucker.
some of that dark meat.
Yeah, I know. Go on and pick it up. Steal that shit. I'll be after your ass. All right. This comes from Nika, Crazy Nika 26, and he or she says, if they made another Batman movie, do you think they should come out with Robin, and who do you think should be the next villain? Maybe the Riddler? And also, well, I won't get into this till afterwards. But we've gone over this over and over again. What do you think?
I think that to be true to the Batman story, at some point Robin has to be introduced.
You think? Well,
and if you're going to reintroduce the series, which is exactly what they've done with the last 2 Dark Knight films, they're going to have to at some point bring him in. But the problem is
in that world though, how do they do it? I mean, keep in mind, in the world they set up with this movie, you cannot have Batman run around with some little trapeze artist. He's going to look like he belongs, like the Nambla or something, run around with little boys. So, I mean, think about it. First of all, they can't have this kid be in tights. It's going to be weird enough if he's a kid.
Well, they're going to have to. They're going to have to figure something out. I mean, the new Batman costume is much more badass than the original Batman costume ever was.
Yeah.
So they'd have to apply that same level of badassness to the Robin costume. But I think that if they're going to maintain the loyalty, that they have, I would think that at some point they have to bring in the Robin.
Christian Bale said that he actually would not like to see a Robin in these movies. And
that's because he has to share his time.
Oh, come on. He just gave his time to Heath Ledger, and, you know, that's the ultimate.
Yeah.
Can't no Robin, overshadow.
But I think the director also said there's no...
Speaking of which, did y'all hear this rumor that if they ever did bring Joker back, that they were thinking Daniel Day-Lewis?
No.
What?
Yeah.
Are you sure you didn't read that on? Are you sure one of these kids on this site?
You're just making up some shit.
And it may have been a discussion I was having with some critics or something too. But
Clint Eastwood's going to be Batman.
Well, no, but I think about that. Daniel Day-Lewis is the only actor with any possible. I mean, if you look at what was it? The oil film.
You're talking about
Blood.
There Will Be Blood.
There Will Be Blood. You know, he has, or with Butcher Bill. He has the capability of playing that sadistic bastard.
Yeah, but you got to think, though, he'd be introducing everyone to a whole new Joker. I mean, it's going to be a completely different Joker. It's not going to be consistent with Heath Ledger by any means. It might as well just be another Batman film with a different Batman as well.
I want to make a suggestion for people. And some people are going to think I'm crazy, but if you look at, as far as actors who resemble each other, Heath Ledger, when he's smiling a certain way, looks very similar to Joseph Gordon-Levitt, the guy that's from Third Rock from the Sun. And now he's been in movies like Brick. He was recently in Miracle at St. Anna or in St. Anna, whatever. But there are certain times when they smile that they kind of look like each other, and they have the same texture of hair. And I think that if you want to bring the Joker in, that kid is a really good actor too. I think that he could probably pull that off. Now, I'm just throwing that out there. Some people think about it. Just look up some pictures of those two and think about it. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I don't know. I guess we can.
I mean, we can sit up here and
we
make
can think
jokers
about this,
all day.
but I know Christopher Nolan said there's no way they are ever going to replace Heath Ledger. Oh well, the Joker. They're not going to do that at all. They're not going to touch that. Okay. He has stated he is not going to touch that. That's why I don't know if you read recently. He came out and he was like, "Well, if we do another Batman film, the script better be incredible. I mean, we better come up with a reason why we need to bring Batman back to the screen."
You know, we were having that discussion earlier. That brings up a good point. How there just hasn't been that much Oscar worthiness out there. It seems like this year. Does that make it that much cleaner of a shot for Heath Ledger to posthumously
I think so.
get
yes,
supporting actor?
And he should.
Yeah.
He definitely should. He earned
at
it.
this
regardless, if he's not around, but he deserves to be noticed for that. Definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure even his peers would be, they'd be fighting for him to be nominated.
See, the Oscars, they do some bullshit like, let's get Chris Rock to host the Academy Awards just to get young people in, or let's change our image by nominating Juno for Best Picture. All that's kind of been iffy. Now, if they really want to show that they're not biased, they want to bring in a hip audience, but really be legit about it, nominate Heath Ledger. And just say fuck it that he's been in a comic book movie. This is a performance that's really worthy of a performance.
Of some accolades. There's also, I think I was reading something about like a curse. Like if you die and you're nominated, you don't win. Like there were the only other like the only other person to posthumously be up for an Academy Award didn't get it.
I think they had the ultimate curse when they died.
Well, yeah.
That part sucks.
Yeah, that's the part that sucks. Now, if you die to win, then maybe it's not a big deal.
The curse is you don't get to take the award home because you're dead.
But I thought I read something about that. There was at least the last person to be nominated and died before the Academy Awards didn't win, and so there's like, well, this doesn't usually work out well because.
See, I don't think you have. That's not a curse because you don't have anything to lose. It's like,
right, not a curse, but
there's some people who are still alive who said, "I wish I wouldn't have got this award." I mean, ask what's her name? She was just in that movie, Hamlet 2. There's something that says that if you win Best Supporting Actress or Actor, Cuba Gooding Jr.
Yeah.
I'm sure some days Cuba Gooding Jr. looks like, I wish I could just throw this motherfucker
Give this
away.
shit back.
Yeah, there's people alive who have more to worry about than Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
What was the last good movie Cuba Gooding Jr. made?
Snow Dogs.
Men of Honor, maybe?
Pearl Harbor.
No, he was in.
Actually, I thought he was the only
gangster.
I thought he was the only decent part in Pearl Harbor, to be honest.
Yeah,
he was the only one who was really
brilliant
trying.
In Men of Honor.
Yeah, he
Men of
was,
Honor,
but it wasn't that great of a movie.
Well, it was a biopic, basically.
He had a very small role, which I thought was okay in American Gangster. That was a good movie, not a great movie.
That was the Denzel one where
Yeah.
at some point. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't love it or anything, but I thought that was all right. I mean,
but back to, did we answer the whole Robin? Did we?
So Robin. So
Oh.
yeah, I would think that at some point they may need to try and figure out a way to get it in. As it is, you know who I would love to see imagine with Christopher Nolan?
What?
Is Penguin.
I don't get that. I don't understand why everyone's really dying to see Penguin.
I want to see him do Penguin.
Well, who would you want to see?
Oh, that's a good question. The ventriloquist.
That's the one I said.
That would be interesting, just because the guy, the character
is real.
I mean, he's fucked up. That would be an interesting character to see them try to do. I think it would be really creepy as well.
Yeah.
As far as
and see, that's the
Scarface.
problem I have is that the one
Yeah.
Penguin we got was Danny DeVito, and God bless his soul, that was just horrible. I mean, that was absolutely horrific.
But you know what he did?
But I would love
his
to
character
see.
did influence the animated series, obviously. The Batman animated.
But they
series
changed it after they got.
changed it.
Yeah, and
right.
I think there was some legalities, and they changed it back to the classic Penguin.
That's right.
But man, I would love to see Scarface, who's the ventriloquist guy. I would love to see. And for those of you who don't know, it's a guy he's a ventriloquist and he's controlled by his dummy. His dummy is actually the villain, but of course his ventriloquist controlling him. But he's
a gangster,
mentally and he's mentally ill. So he's a crime lord who's ill, and his dummy is running shit. And I thought that would be a great one to have. Riddler, I still don't. It just doesn't jump out to me. I don't know why.
I don't know. Frank Gorshin has always kind of, I'll never be able to get,
right. But see, you get all that with Jim Carrey. I mean, it just seems like a silly character to throw in that world.
Yeah,
right.
I think Scarface would be the one. If they really wrote a script around that character, I think it would write itself. But if they want to do Robin, let's just say the studio says, Sean, you know what? You co-hosting Corey, we want to just give you guys $1 million right now, and I want you guys to write the next Batman. But the stipulation is it has to have Robin in it.
Yeesh.
I would say that Robin could be a kid that he probably adopted, but don't have him swinging all over the city with green tights on and shit. It's a kid that he says, okay, this is a dangerous thing for me to do, but you can go to parts of the city where you can be my eyes and ears, and maybe I'll put you in a protective armor or something. And, I mean, I don't know. Even that sounds crazy.
It'd be tricky. I know.
Okay, we give you $1 million back. We can't do it.
Now, I wouldn't mind.
We go over to Mexico and spend $1 million bucks.
I'm ruining that franchise for $1 million.
I wouldn't mind if, let's say if they make Christopher Nolan makes another Batman, if they kind of tease at the tail end of Batman 3, just knowing that that's going to be the last Batman as far as the Christopher Nolan universe, if they tease a bit, like,
is that it?
If they tease a bit as to where, well, it was a planned trilogy, so he said we're only going to do 3. That's all they want to do, but basically, if they teased the circus going to Gotham, like at the tail end, or at least you see a shot of the Flying Graysons, a bus going by. I mean, if they just tease it to let you know that this is where the movies stop, but the Batman universe continues on.
For somebody else to fuck up.
Yeah, just to hint at it.
Exactly.
Just so they can go, well, there's the best. Maybe you see a shot of Dick Grayson with his family. Just a little cameo.
Yeah.
Nothing big at all. But just to let people know that Robin is in that universe. But at least
a bus
you're not
driving out of town. The circus is leaving, and it's a young Dick Grayson.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, he's a kid. And if they just tease that. Just, as like a little teaser for the fans. But then they just leave it alone. It's like, okay, well, at least Dick Grayson is in this universe, and that will leave you to dream up any kinds of crazy stories you got in your head.
I'm looking at Sean. He's up here like a cat. He's like trying to grab a moth going by. Yeah. And he's just
damn black people let moths in my house.
Yeah, it came out of my pocket. Flew out of my ass.
It flew out of my head.
You don't know that black people shit moths, do you?
You know, if you douche more often, that shit wouldn't happen.
Oh, man,
I keep telling him that, and he doesn't listen to me.
What did I do to deserve this?
Well, last time I picked on co-host pretty heavily, so he asked me, "Hey man, can you go easy on me and let's get Corey
I slipped him
instead."
a 20.
Yeah.
You're 20 actually, Corey.
Yeah,
You took it from my pocket
right out of your pocket and put it in mine.
Lay off me, buddy.
See, it's the silver people you have to look out for, not the blacks.
Exactly.
I don't know, man. It's a hard thing to do. And look, let's just hope that Christopher Nolan does come back for another one, because Warner Brothers, they're pretty insistent on saying, we're going to do this shit no matter what.
Well, I tell you what, I know the cast, they've all said, if Christopher Nolan, if he is not involved, we are not involved. Christian Bale has said that. He said that for the first movie and the second film, that if Christopher Nolan is not involved, I am not involved. And I'm sure that goes for the rest of the cast as well.
And then when Warner Brothers pulls out a $150 million check and says, well, are you sure about that? They go, oh, maybe not.
Okay. Did I say I wasn't going to do another one?
Nah.
I was drunk at the time.
Just call me Alec Baldwin. I am going to leave the country.
Oh, all right. I'm going over. Yeah, I'll tell you what. I'm looking at other email right now, but I tell you, if anybody could rewrite it to probably make it make sense, it would probably be Christopher Nolan. I would just say I would love to see what he would do. We're sitting up here talking like it's going to happen. We they're going to go off and make some other shit.
Him and his brother wrote the Dark Knight. So that guy, every bit of dialogue in that film just sticks out to me. I mean, I have a good portion of that dialogue memorized. I thought it was so great.
It was a brilliant film.
Which actually is making me kind of excited about the next Terminator film, because Christopher Nolan's brother wrote the script to that. So
really,
yeah.
Where's the story pick up? Do you know?
So it's supposed to pick up before the initial war. I think it's leading up. What
is this?
Terminator, the new Terminator film. So It's where it predates the Arnold Schwarzenegger Terminator.
It's almost like a
So
prequel
it's
of some
like-
sort or
yeah,
something.
in a way, yeah. Uh-huh.
But they even like saying even we're not trying to be completely consistent with the universe that James Cameron set up, which kind of worries me. I don't know
Well,
about.
but
all
I don't
that.
think that was all that consistent. To be honest,
No, when you're dealing with time travel, no,
Yeah.
Exactly. See, with time travel, you can do anything.
exactly.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, if they want to bring Robin in, that's what they do. They go back and have go back in time. Have
Bruce Wayne gets caught in a time warp, and,
Yeah.
and Dick Grayson pulls him out of it, in the past.
and takes him to crazy land.
You know what's funny though is that